There we go. I'll just let you guys have this cutscene. Since this is the first time, I'm gonna skip it in the future.
The Pharaoh is the heart of Egypt. The land is its body, and the people are its blood. One day you will rule Egypt, my son. Your armies will thunder across the boundless desert. And it shall tremble beneath them, as it shook beneath the pounding feet of the countless men who toiled in the burning sun to build your grandfather's eternal resting place. He was Egypt, just as I am Egypt, and as you will be Egypt. His face is my face, and your face. His strength, our strength, for his blood runs in our veins. He labored a lifetime to build this monument, which now watches over us. And when it was complete, so too was his life complete. Yet even as my father was taken by Anubis, a new life came forth. And as your grandfather was bound in fine linen, so were you wrapped in swaddling clothes. And a new day dawned for Egypt. In time, each pharaoh must heed the call of Osiris and embark on a final journey to the immortal realm. For when the day of Pharaoh's reign is at an end, so the night of his eternal sleep begins. While he slumbers undisturbed, so shall Egypt endure.
Alright, I had tried this to record it once before. It actually, I had to severely reduce the volume because the sound was so loud it just totally blasted my voice. You couldn't hear it at all. This is a city building game from, I believe, 1999. I've had this for forever. I got a super good deal on it. I got it for 25 cents at a yard sale. And as you can see, it still works fine. The CD is a little beat up, that's why there's some skipping right at the end of that cutscene. But the game runs fine, it's a ton of fun. It's still available on eBay and a number of other platforms. I really think they should rework it for a Steam re-release. I think Sierra Entertainment was bought by another gaming company, game producing company, but I think they're still around, just as a part of another larger company. So let's jump right in. I think I'm gonna create a new, since feel like I'm gonna grab one of these. I'm actually about halfway through this game. This game can take a very long time to finish. I've been playing this for years, and I'm only about halfway through the game. But there's also a number, there's a mission editor, there's a number of different scenarios you can play. It's pretty advanced for a game from 99. And the cutscenes are really good for that.
It is said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So may the story of a great nation begin with one dream. The Red Land has given birth to such a dream. Clans of nomads carry it in their heart, across the immeasurable desert and into the land of Egypt.
I think the only other competitor for old cutscenes like that is Blizzard.
Participate in the history of one
Speaking
the
of Blizzard, I am going to be doing
civilizations
an
the world has ever
original and Brood
seen.
War
An epic
playthrough.
story that spans more than 15 centuries and 24 generations. You must lead one family, generation by generation, from its earliest beginnings in Egyptian prehistory, through the dawn of civilization, to the establishment of a unique and powerful empire and beyond. Our story begins more than 5,000 years ago, along the banks of the Nile River in an area known as Noob. Here, a small confederacy of clans struggles to eke out an existence in the harsh environment. With you at its head, your family leads this small settlement.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn the difficulty up to easy. I normally skip this bit, and also a number of other things, but I'm just gonna not skip them during this playthrough just so that you guys can see it. Housing and roads. Housing, basically you just, place these, which is a vacant, and then the people will come. Then as you provide them with things, the houses will upgrade, more people can fit in them, they'll pay more taxes. Roads. People walk on roads. Most people walk on roads. There's a few people types that won't. Walkers, not zombies. Walkers, as in, like, this is a bazaar worker. She'll carry things like food around. Yeah, you don't want many intersections, because every intersection they'll randomly choose a way to go, and sometimes you'll get all of your water carriers and food distributors wandering over into your industrial sector. So, this mission isn't hard. I'm just gonna demonstrate real quick. You want housing. Normally you wouldn't want this much. But we can let it go in this case. Wells don't need any employees, but they don't provide clean water, and they only provide it in a short radius, so I have to build a lot of them. Now see, oh yeah, desirability has to be taken into account, but let's see. If I were to remove this, then these would start saying this dwelling cannot evolve, as it doesn't have access to even the crudest of water sources. Yeah, like, but see, did you see it just went from a crude hut to a sturdy hut because it has access to water. So basically, I'll have to go back. I right-clicked at the wrong time. Growing population needs a reliable source of food and some means of storing and distributing it. Certain animals, like the ostriches, can be hunted. Yeah, hunting, often you'll just be farming. You have to hunt. In this particular mission you can hunt. So this is the basic food distribution system. Replace this with a farm and you'll have for most missions. So this gets employees from the houses. Then hunters go out, shoot ostriches, bring it back. It's delivered to the granary. The bazaar people go, bazaar, not bizarre. They go and get it from the granary, take it to the bazaar, then another person comes out from the bazaar and distributes it. If this were a farm, you'd need a work camp. Then workers, employees would go to the work camp. The work camp would generate peasant units, would go out and they'd populate the farms, and the farms would produce crops, and then at harvest time the crops would come back to the granary, and so on. Fishing lodges are basically the same, except they receive employees directly, and then a fishing boat comes out and fishes. I'll just demonstrate that all when I have it later. Transform crude huts into meager shanties. Overseers. These are your overseers. Right now we only have this, but all of these will be open eventually, and they have things like monuments, chief overseer, treasury, overseer of the treasury, overseer of the temples, overseer of diversions, workers, military, etc. So basically what I want to do is I want to build a road out here, because you don't want things like hunting lodges too close tier houses, or people won't want to live there because it lowers the desirability. Yeah, certain animals are designated, or certain areas are designated as animal breeding grounds, and you can't build there. So then, I'll stick a bazaar over here. In a moment you'll see, like, all buildings have animation that will demonstrate that they are populated. For example, see you see a little person in there but not here. This one has workers, this one doesn't. Or you can right click on it and it'll give you the vital information. You can give special orders, visit the overseer. It's a very elegant engine, honestly. Yep, clean water, there we go. Supply this village's granary of food. Now, they need clean water from water supply. Basically after this mission you will never build wells. Because wells are practically useless. The water supply is the only really good version. The only time you'd build wells is if you're only trying to edge in, like, the extra 2 population you need, to finish a mission. They have to be built on green grass, that's where water is. A lot of buildings have that requirement. And then, once they have employees, the water carrier will come out. You know, deliver buckets of clean drinking water. So, now I can remove all of these wells and replace them with water supplies. And you don't need nearly as many water supplies as you do wells, because water supplies reach much further. Since it's a water carrier who will walk around. See? Animation of a person bazaar, the well fills with water, that's how you know. Yeah, see, like, these houses aren't going to get too many people in them because they're too close to a granary, which is undesirable. There's overlays, problems, vacant. Later on, problems will develop such as risks of fire, crime, disease, malaria damage, which is risk of collapse. Entertainment, education, health, administration, you can look at, like, desirability. This is one of the least desirable places in town. Later on, a number of municipal structures will open up, and those will increase desirability. See, Jaeger Shanty. And then once I have 6 of those, I believe I have 3 at the moment. Yeah. Once I have 6 of those, I go straight on to victory. Now you can undo. You can do messages. You can cycle through trouble spots like fires, collapses, stealing from thieves going to your tax collector's offices and such, and then you can look at your mission objectives. Yeah, let's see what you can go here and see. Hold food for 20 months. We produce a lot of extra food. We produce or import enough food for about 2,796 people. But often a mission will, later missions like the ones I'm on, will require you to have populations of like 5,000 people, and you won't be able to hunt, you'll only be able to farm. And that will really make it hard to have enough food for all of your people all the time. And then, the higher you make your difficulty, let me demonstrate, the harder it becomes to keep your money high enough. You got your money up here. But people will be less likely to immigrate. People are less happy on higher difficulties. In my personal playthrough, that's not. Oop. Yep, fire. So to protect against future fires, you need fire houses. This is actually a scripted event. Did you notice when I went through fire hazards, there was no risk of fire? That's because there was no risk of fire up to then in the game engine. So fire, it wanted me to it specifically set a structure on fire, and then it tells me to build a firehouse. Fire marshals, basically, there's a little bar in the fire hazards that goes up on each building that can catch fire. Not all buildings can catch fire, and once it gets all the way up, it catches on fire. Fire marshals make that go down. Yeah, they just walk by. They would just walk around. Are presented to you before being stored with your other messages. And then normally this would light up. See, now that that's there, this lit up. Thing pops up that says fire in the shanty or fire in the village. You can go to the site of the event. Then firehouses. You want to have a good number of firehouses. Because otherwise your whole city can burn down. Burning houses can spread it to nearby places and catch them on fire. Even if they're the next one doesn't have any risk of fire. So what I can do is I can delete open messages, and it'll delete all but the important blue ones that are like tutorial messages. So see, the firemen are running around putting out the fires. Yeah, see how it's telling me people already eat more food than they produce? It's because all my hunting lodges burned down. So that actually has been a major setback. Of course, normally, in a mission, you start out with firehouses and stuff like that. So you often will just see. Now that's irony. The firehouse burned down. But so what I'll do is I'll have just a setup I normally start with, and it'll have you can right click on them to delete them right away. See, there's two intersections right near it, so it's actually first it has to decide whether to go this way or this way. Then if it decides to go this way, it might go either way. There's like a 25% chance that on a given trip it'll visit that. So that's the there's the reasons for these things. That you don't want too many intersections. So now all of my advanced houses burned down. Now the more advanced a house is, the slower the risks of fire bar goes up. See? It's just like that. See, it keeps going up. No likelihood, negligible fire risk. And as it goes up, it'll slowly turn from just brown to bright red. And then you'll know you have a problem. We produce not enough food because starting to pick up. Now I see what it is. Is my bazaar burned down. I have enough now that I should probably have 2 bazaars. Normally, right at the beginning of the mission, I'll spend a ton of money, and I have this setup I've worked on for a long time for my cities, and I usually spend almost all my money at once. Yep, collapses. Dispatches workers, only reduces risk of damage or collapse. And that was the one that had all my food in it too. Only large structures are at risk of collapsing. See, I ran out of money, so I got more money, but that only happens once. So, basically, houses, water supplies, firehouses, bazaars, they don't have risk of collapse. The only buildings with risk of collapse are big ones, like the granary has a big risk of collapse. Hunting lodges have a small risk of collapse. Let me demonstrate damage. See, these ones don't have any likelihood. These ones do. They have the column, but these columns will never increase because houses can never collapse. This episode's pretty much up. I'm just gonna go till the end of the mission. We have 2 of these. Reduce the difficulty again. Because I'm not planning to make... See, I won. I'm not planning to make a long...
Well done.
difficult playthrough because I'm already doing that on my other one, and it can be annoying. I've had to restart missions several times.
You have helped this fledgling civilization take its first step on the long road of history.
Yeah, Benermer won, so reigns supreme in the city. That's my personal playthrough. I played it on normal. So yeah. This is the first one. I'll just let this run.
Your family has resettled in the area of Inis, in Upper Egypt. Here, a small band of local rulers is attempting to extend its influence over Lower Egypt and all lands along the River Nile, and to unite this realm under its own house with one supreme leader. Establishing Thinis as a thriving city like nothing ever seen before will prove the worthiness of the Thinite Confederacy and help them gain supremacy over Lower Egypt and the other factions vying for power. In time, this will mean providing the population with entertainment and building wonderful temples to worship the region's patron deity. To build a city this grand will require a substantial supply of cash. You'll find rich deposits of gold ore in Thinis, and harvesting them should be your first priority.
Alright, so, I'm gonna let this go, and then I'm just gonna end the episode right there, and then I'm just gonna, slap this part onto the next episode so you can have a little background if you're starting there. I'm just gonna do 20 minutes or one mission at a time. This one's probably gonna be 2 episodes. Alright, so Golden Crime, these normal rock just looks like, without the gold pots, it looks like this part. But when it has this, that means depending on what you have available in your raw materials, you can mine copper or gold. A palace is needed. A palace is needed for pretty much everything to do with money, except exports and imports. A palace receives gold directly from that. Thieves can attack these guys and steal the gold. Delivers 100 debins each. Let's see. Taxes. You have to have a palace to collect taxes. Crime. If you can't keep your people happy, they'll try and rob your palace or your tax collector's offices, or they'll attack the gold carriers. Police stations both reduce the risk of crime in houses they pass and will catch thieves. Yep, best way to prevent crime is to keep your population happy with adequate food, healthcare, and jobs. So basically, you have to make sure everybody has a job, everybody has food, and everybody's healthy, and your people will love you. Also, you don't want to make your tax rate too high. So yeah. That's gonna be it, guys. This has been Maverick's Pharaoh playthrough. See you next time. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Adios.